Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into the absolute whiplash that was Session 21, Don't Rock the Boat. Seriously, we are going straight from a peaceful, luxurious river cruise right into a gritty, high-stakes detective procedural. So let's just jump right in.
To start us off, we've got to ask the core question that completely shatters the false sense of security our heroes had as they rolled into the grand city of splendors. What exactly happens when a luxury cruise collides with a populous bombing? They really thought they were finally safe, but Waterdeep had a violently different welcome prepared for them.
Right, to really get the shock of it all, we've got to look at the setup. Reconnecting with Drow sisters Ilmrin and Tellus, Talia enchanting passengers with Feywild tales, Vugfrida thoroughly enjoying the ship's spa, and a triumphant arrival in Deepwater Harbor. The final days aboard the Chianther Princess were, frankly, an absolute dream. Valessa was spending her evenings dancing, drinking, and catching up with her sisters. Talia was totally enchanting the passengers with these wild tales of the Feywild, and Vugfrida was just shamelessly living it up in the ship's spa. It was all building to this glittering, triumphant arrival. Picture the White Towers climbing the mountain, officials smiling at the docks, until the exact moment the ceremonial platform explodes in this massive, deafening blast of fire and splintered wood.
Just like that, boom, we're thrown into total chaos. The timeline here is wild. 0 minutes, dock explosion. 1 minute, Valessa stabilizes wounded. 2 minutes, Vagnafrieder lifts heavy debris. 5 minutes, Seawater Disc extinguishes fires. Their rapid-fire triage really shows just how hardened this party has become. The shockwave hits, and by minute 1, Valessa is already moving through the injured like a pro, stabilizing the worst cases. Minute 2, Vagnafrieder is using her sheer, raw strength to heave burning debris off trapped survivors. And then, at minute 5, we get this brilliant piece of magical improvisation. Valessa literally conjures a floating magical disc, dunks it in the harbor, and ferries a massive puddle of seawater across the burning docks to put out the spreading fires. I mean, talk about thinking on your feet.
Severe trauma versus minor inconvenience. This scene was such a jarring contrast. On one side of the rebel, you've got journalist Sylphie with a severe rib injury, and Lantina's artificer Becca bite-size staggering around with a really nasty head wound. And on the other side, you've got Duke Racketh Glitterbeard pompously demanding priority magical healing because he got a minor singe on his palm.
Yeah.
Luckily, Santo was having absolutely none of it. She firmly dismissed the Duke, basically handed him a normal bandage, and went back to focusing on the people who were, actually dying. That moment perfectly captures the party's completely exasperated mood, which leads to this absolutely hilarious quote from Vagnafrieder. Why does this shit keep happening everywhere we go? Can we just not have one normal day? I mean, come on, that is practically the thesis statement of the entire campaign right there. And right as she asks it, as if on cue, a gust of harbor wind clears the thick black smoke, revealing the number 99 freshly painted in bold black across the surviving section of the dock wall. So who are they? Well, questioning the locals reveals a deeply divided city regarding this 99 faction. For the City Watch and nobles, they're dangerous terrorists and ruthless bombers presenting an escalating threat. But if you ask the dockworkers and the poor, they're Robin Hood figures. They leave food and copper coins and target noble excess. To the authorities, they're a massive, escalating danger. But to the struggling lower classes, they are heroes. The 99 literally leave apples and copper coins wrapped in paper for the needy, deliberately targeting gaudy symbols of noble wealth, like, say, a luxury riverboat. We are looking at a populist movement engaged in outright class warfare. Okay, so the official forensic investigation kicks off. A deliberately misaligned smoke powder charge, sawed and weakened wooden boarding struts, a pitch-soaked, fire-retardant canvas backstop, and an investigation led by Inspector Barnabas Blastwind and Captain Hystatus Staggett. The party gets recruited by the City Watch officials, takes a rowboat out to the wreckage, and starts finding clues. They uncover a deliberately misaligned shape charge, wooden boarding struts that were sawed beforehand, proving this was highly premeditated, and a pitch-soaked canvas meant to direct the blast. And get this, right in the middle of this intense, gritty forensic work, merchant Seracia Imravel quietly slips Valessa a sending stone. She drops a terrifying warning about the Thaian embassy's slave trade operating down in Skullport, and then just vanishes into the city. Talk about multitasking. But back to the bombing. The crucial point here is this literal breadcrumb trail of physical evidence. Step 1, the canvas found at the blast site. Step 2, tracing it to Rennett's chandlery. Step 3, purchased with an Osvaldo Memorial Fund voucher. And Step 4, investigating the fund at the Palace of Waterdeep.
The party traces that high-quality canvas from the blast straight to a grumpy sailmaker at Rennett's Chandlery on Dock Street. Rennett spills that the materials were bought by a young woman using a voucher from the Osvaldo Memorial Fund, which points them straight to the Grand Palace of Waterdeep to investigate this mysterious municipal account.
But wait, before we actually hit the palace, Valessa impulsively purchases a small fishing net and magically fashions it into a revealing dress. I just have to mention this because it's such a perfectly absurd character moment. Right in the middle of a grumpy Chandlerly, during a grim terror investigation, Valessa buys a fishing net and uses magic to turn it into this revealing outfit, claiming it has deep, quote-unquote, cultural significance. Yeah, Vagnafruther was entirely unconvinced by that excuse, and honestly, so are we.
All right, actually getting back on track at the Palace of Waterdeep now. A highly stressed clerk named Joran Thale digs into the details of this memorial fund, and I need you to wrap your head around this number, 250,000 gold. To put that in perspective, that is an absolute staggering fortune. It was set up anonymously 4 years ago in the name of Osvaldo Castellanter, the eldest son of a very prominent noble family. And the crazy thing? The account just sat there collecting dust until about 6 months ago, when it suddenly started issuing vouchers to fund the bombing materials. The city's own sloppy municipal security was literally acting as a bank for anonymous terrorists.
Shane reveals a startling personal detail. His own criminal alias is Victorio Castellanter. Okay, this is where the dramatic irony just goes off the charts. Right there in the palace, Shane casually tells the group his own criminal alias. He swears he has absolutely no knowledge of the real Castellanter's son, but having that direct name connection to this specific noble family, it makes us, the audience, feel like we're in on this massive, unsettling secret that the rest of the characters just haven't quite pieced together yet.
Now, let's follow the money straight to the Blushing Mermaid establishment, with its central heated pool served by mermaids Nessa, Varroa, and Leora. While Valessa and Talia lounge underwater, Lady Elathine Moonstar refuses to compromise guest anonymity. This is the place where those sketchy fund vouchers were actually being redeemed. It's this incredibly grand spot built around a heated pool. Valessa actually uses her magic so she and Talia can chill underwater and gossip with the mermaids. But topside, things are tense. Santal is trying to interrogate the owner, Lady Elathine Moonstar. Lady Moonstar glides down the stairs with this unearthly grace and just flat out refuses to give up her guest anonymity. She is totally unfazed by any threats of explosive trouble.
Which leads right into this incredibly suspenseful cliffhanger. Shane, who Talia had actually enchanted with invisibility, tries to stealthily tail Lady Moonstar up through the higher floors of the building. He watches her glide past a few windows, and then, poof, she just vanishes into thin air. A split second later, this spectral face materializes literally 2 inches from his own and whispers this eerie warning. Mind my anonymity. Guys, she knew he was there. She knew he was tracking her the entire time, even invisible.
And that brings our recap of Session 21 to a spectacular close, leaving us standing right on the edge of a massive mystery. With the 99 still at large, funded by 250,000 gold, and striking without warning, who is their true architect, and where will they strike next? This explosive welcome to Waterdeep was clearly just the opening act. I absolutely cannot wait to piece together the next clues in this high-stakes detective procedural with all of you. Keep your eyes open, and we'll see you next time on The Explainer.